everybody. I'm on Interstate 64. This is Kentucky. It's about 30 miles east of Lexington. Making the run-in to the shipper there, right on the Mississippi River, the border of Kentucky and West Virginia off of Interstate 64. Go about 10 miles south of the interstate on US 52, so the east side of the Mississippi River, to Pritchard, West Virginia. And the shipper I'm going to, or the receiver I'm going to, looks a little bit small. It'll be tight and challenging. But this part of Kentucky has some rolling hills. It's been overcast, patchy fog, sprinkling most of the drive. I'm about 3.5 hours into the drive already. I woke up at 4:15 Central Time. Now on East Coast time. Yesterday, the appointment said 9 a.m. I arrived at 8:30, and I did not depart until 3 p.m. So 6 hours waiting to be loaded. And it's only an 8.5 hour drive, point to point. I stopped at the TA, shut down at about 8:15 p.m. Got back up at 4:15 and started rolling again, so I'll have a 2-hour break at the receiver in order to regain that drive time that I used yesterday. Drop down to 48 miles an hour. Go ahead and throw on the hazards for everybody coming up behind me. Posted 3 YouTube shorts, one about the Trucker Johnny tail camera. I duct taped, electrical taped my second cell phone to the bumper of the trailer. Video called myself, and then I was able to view traffic behind me on my main phone. Then the second video was about the backup camera, same setup, but just seeing behind me as I'm backing into the dock. And then the Trucker Johnny trailer backup lights. Those 3 videos have done well. They got about 500 views in the first 8 to 10 hours, I think. So it is possible to put them on the truck.
There's a stalled vehicle ahead.
This is where it is dangerous, driving into the fog like this and a stalled vehicle on the shoulder up here, coming up. Good check on your speed versus what you're able to see, how far out you're able to see. Probably abandoned. No flashing lights. Let's see if there's a tag on it. Okay, going downhill like this, I press on the brake for about 3 to 4 seconds. Decrease the speed from 72 miles an hour down to about 68. And about 20 to 30 seconds later, repeat the process. That is called stab braking. That's to prevent the trailer brakes from overheating. If you ride the brakes the entire time, they will heat up on you. If they get hot enough, it starts the trailer fire. Opens up. So I wrote Senator Cruz. He's going to be the chairman of the Senate Commerce and Transportation Committee, I believe. Not just to force all the truck manufacturers to put the backup camera or the backup lights onto the trucks, but just to give them the idea and see if, as an industry, they're able to adopt it. Backup cameras are required by law for all passenger vehicles. I'm not sure if they made the law for commercial vehicles also, but it makes sense. It would improve safety. So I should just start messaging engineers from those companies' teams. Say, hey, do you guys have this available? So I'll compile a list of all the different companies and run down some contacts either on LinkedIn, X, Facebook, company website. I think it was a few years ago, Tesla actually hosted a autonomy day where they were discussing AI, the semi. But for the cameras, I mean, you can just put them between the two brake lights the trailers have. You have two on each side. Just put a camera in between those two brake lights. That would give you the camera to the rear. Then for better computer vision, for situational awareness for the programs, you can put 3 cameras on each side, right at the base or the deck level of the trailer, at the kingpin, 20 feet and 40 feet from the kingpin. And that would give you stereoscopic cameras that provide you the distance to a vehicle or an obstacle on either side. then you really would have 360-degree visibility by cameras on that commercial motor vehicle. It's just what makes sense to me. Now to have an autonomous shipment, meaning the tractor is able to attach or detach, to couple or uncouple from a trailer on its own, you need a backup camera on the tractor itself, again in between the two brake lights. And that would help the tractor with aligning to the trailer and the kingpin to ensure that that process works. Gear, it will also need to be automated to be able to raise or lower on its own. And that can be controlled by the program also. For most trailers, they have swing doors, so you have two doors that open, and then when they close, they get locked with handles. The grocery transport is done with what is called a roll door, meaning it's basically like a garage door at the back of the trailer. Everything is secured inside the trailer, so you're not locking it in place as much as you are facilitating the ease of opening and closing the door. And that can also be controlled by the program. And then as far as documenting the transport of the shipment, you can have two cameras inside the trailer, one at the front looking to the rear, and then one at the rear looking to the front. And that would again be controlled by an algorithm that detects any movement or shifting of the load where there would be potential damage. So if all three of those are needed to make a true autonomous shipment, meaning no human interaction, then the junction box at the front of the trailer would also need to be modified. And if the industry is switching to electric semis for the future, not sure how long it would take to transition from the diesel semis to the electric semis. But the junction box would need to have the standard connector, meaning power and light control of the trailer. You have the emergency and the service airlines. That's your standard right now. For the future, it would also need to include that data port for the cameras. So you'd have 10 lines for the cameras coming into the computer. And then you can have a power cable that connects the batteries from the trailers to the tractor. And that's how Tesla's Semi actually has a range of 1,200 miles. They just don't realize it yet. The design team said they considered it, but then discarded it. So now we're getting into heavier rain. Still have 45 miles left. Shouldn't be all that bad. light traffic on the highway, so that's a good thing. then for the full self-driving module, that is going to be a challenge for them. I know there's several companies that are running autonomous trucks, meaning there's no humans in it. I think there's one from Phoenix to Tucson in Arizona. I think they do a Dallas to Houston shipment. I think there was one other company that's already doing it. I think it's with Ryder. Slowing down a little bit more, going downhill, get the spray off of that guy. But Too Simple, Torque, Kodiak, all of them made tremendous strides in the autonomous semi-truck. Thinking about what that full self-driving program entails, it's impressive they're able to do those shipments. I know that Plus AI did one from California to Pennsylvania without a human on the truck. That was several years ago. So those full self-driving programs have to be a little bit more robust than the passenger vehicles. But all of it is based on object detection, object avoidance, best path for steering, then the speed control, both acceleration and braking. For a semi, you have turning being way different for a tractor trailer than it is for a passenger vehicle. These people are going a little bit slower. like I said in the rain video, everybody drives different in the rain. This white truck is doing 64 to 65 miles per hour. Speed limit 70. December, Kentucky is still really green. They probably won't get their white blanket until middle to end of January, I think. And because of the road conditions, after I change lanes, I know I'm going to throw up a lot of spray into that white truck's windshield. So give extra time when passing, create a bigger gap before pulling over in front of them. With is Tesla's full self-drive. I think they're on version 13.2 now. So Mr. Elaswamy and the team have done really well on preparing the program almost for anything. So whether that's actually the coding that they've done, or if they've utilized machine learning as well. It's being rolled out already, so congratulations to them. I'd like to work with them on the Tesla Semi full self-drive program. That would be interesting to be a part of it.
There's a stalled vehicle ahead.
So I just noticed the dump truck coming on. Move over into the left lane. Stereotyping dump truck drivers, they're usually aggressive. I believe they're paid by each run that they do. So they're usually up to speed or a little bit over the speed limit pretty quick. trailer. Put on the turn signal to see if they notice. Over anyway. So the dump truck is probably empty. It's starting to go around me. But just having that experience with so many dump trucks, making a classification for their probable behavior would be beneficial for the semi full self-driving mode or module. Is able to calculate it almost instantly. But similar to a human, it would still react better if it was able to.
There's a stalled vehicle ahead.
It was able to forecast probable actions. Now the dump truck's doing 74 miles per hour, as predicted. So having the tail camera, the semi full self-drive would be able to predict what a vehicle approaching from behind is most likely to do. Now the Tesla full self-drive for the cars is able to start braking immediately. That was impressive to see a vehicle backing out of their driveway, and the view is blocked by a car parked on the street. When it did pop out, the Tesla car began braking smoothly and came to a complete stop and avoided the accident. But with a truck, if these drivers that are doing 80 miles an hour in a 55, weaving in and out of traffic, the overtake speed of 25 miles per hour makes it a lot different for a semi to drive defensively. trucks that the computer sees would also be important, both overtaking and to the front of the semi. That would help simplify the best path selection. I think it's interesting how much progress they've made so far, and then what is possible for the future.